What's up, guys? Welcome back to Weekly Weird News.
Now, as we all know, the mooch has been cut loose, sadly. Anthony Scaramucci's 10-day tenure as White House Communications Director was certainly short, but boy did he manage to get a lot done. Openly declaring war on fellow Trump administration officials, calling up a reporter while possibly intoxicated, and going off on a candid and profane rant, missing the birth of his own son, getting Sean Spicer to resign, and getting Reince Priebus fired, all leading directly to a new chief of staff getting hired, who immediately told the mooch that his time was up.
Now, it was a saga for sure. Now, we were, of course, very sad to see the mooch get kicked off the island this past Monday, but it was safe to assume that we'd be continuing to hear new tales from his time in the White House, and it didn't take that long at all. In fact, just hours after Scaramucci was escorted off the White House lawn, it came out that a prankster known on Twitter as @SignUnReborn had successfully pulled off what's known as spear phishing on a number of White House officials. Basically posing as other White House officials in email messages and actually getting responses from people like Scaramucci, who fell for it hook, line, and sinker.
But their emails. Now, much like the prank calls that we talked about last week, where U.S. Secretary of Energy Rick Perry spent 20 minutes on the phone with a guy pretending to be the Prime Minister of the Ukraine, who told Perry about a new Ukrainian biofuel made from pig shit and alcohol. This latest example of our government's woefully bad communication security was not malicious. It was just a goof.
A goof, guys.
And no state secrets were spilled, thankfully. Though again, the fact that it was so easy to pull off simply as a joke is profoundly troubling.
Yeah, so SignUnReborn, who claims to be based in the UK, has been pulling off these kind of email phishing pranks for a while, mainly targeting business executives. His method involves simply figuring out the email addresses of his targets, creating his own email account with a display name and email address that's similar to one of his target's colleagues, and then sending believable, mostly innocuous emails posing as that colleague. Over the past couple months, he's been getting increasingly ambitious with his pranks, successfully pranking the CEO of UK bank Barclays, then the governor of the Bank of England, then the CEO of Goldman Sachs, then the CEO of Citigroup, and then the CEO of Morgan Stanley.
Yeah, he's the fish of Wall Street.
Yeah.
In mid-July, SignUnReborn set his sights on Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr., whose love of trophy hunting put them in his spearfishing crosshairs. He posed as Don Jr., emailing Eric Trump saying that he'd just ordered a brand new hunting rifle. Eric Trump first replied asking if he had actually sent this. Weird.
Yeah.
And Fake Don Jr. replied, yes, I had. And also, you're jealous, but you can borrow it. Eric then replied, sorry, it was so vague and I just don't open links for obvious reasons. This came at a perfect time as we have that meeting tonight. I'm fighting hard to stop this nonsense. Fake Jr. replied, what's the plan? And it's a beast. You're going to love it. Try not to worry. Things will turn around. At that point, Eric Trump surprised everyone on Earth by realizing that he was being duped and responded, I have sent this to law enforcement who will handle from here.
Hey, bravo!
Eric Trump.
Yeah, that's great. You know what?
He doesn't look too smart, but...
Barron's probably screening his emails.
Yeah. Hey, Barron.
Does this look suspicious? Yes, you fucking idiot.
Oh my God. I just want to go on 4chan and look at anime.
Having gotten a taste of how easy it was to get people in the Trump administration to reply to bogus emails, he next emailed newly appointed U.S. Ambassador to Russia, John Huntsman Jr., to congratulate him as Eric Trump. Huntsman, he loves the hunting stuff.
Yeah.
Huntsman replied, happily accepting the congratulations, saying, Eric, Russia will be a challenging but no doubt rewarding assignment. Fake Eric then replied, oh, you're welcome, John. Maybe we could have Dad sat on a horse, top off, giving the full Putin. He's in better shape than his suit suggests. Wow. Yes. Okay.
Next up, SignUnReborn decided to inject himself into the hottest story happening in U.S. politics at that time. Anthony Scaramucci openly talking shit on White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. I remember when Scaramucci was ranting to that New Yorker reporter and tweeting out false accusations that Priebus had leaked the mooch's financial documents.
That was at least 6 months ago, right?
It must have been. Well, a friend of Scaramucci named Arthur Schwartz, who had previously been referred to as a PR representative of Scaramucci, decided to go after Reince even harder. After Reince had already been fired from his job, he tweeted this, hey at Reince45, oops, at Reince, you're unemployed now. Keep pushing this crap and I'll start dropping Oppo on you. Mistress much? Dear emoji.
Which apparently was too far even by Scaramucci standards, and the mooch called Schwartz to tell him to cut it out and stop speaking on his behalf. So in comes SignUnReborn, who, posing as Reince Priebus, reached out to Anthony Schwartz seeking an apology. And of course, Schwartz totally fell for it. At one point, fake Reince wrote, well, life is far too short, so whilst there's love and romance, let's face the music and dance, quoting an old jazz pop song, to which Schwartz replied, you're a good man, Reince, and a great American. Eventually, though, during the discussion over how to publicly bury the hatchet on Twitter, Schwartz finally realized what was going on and wrote, "So you're not Rance, huh? Well played." Bravo, old sport. It's the new version of hunting.
Yeah.
Bravo, old sport.
Hunting, the most dangerous game. Man.
Man.
Sign and Reborn next emailed Anthony Scaramucci himself as Rance Priebus, writing what he described on Twitter as quite an accurate summary of his behavior. In it, he wrote, "I had promised myself I would leave my hands mud-free, but after reading your tweet today which stated how soon we will learn who in the media, who has class and who hasn't, has pushed me to this. That tweet was breathtakingly hypocritical, even for you. At no stage have you acted in a way that's even remotely classy, yet you believe that's the standard by which everyone should behave towards you? General Kelly will do a fine job. I'll even admit he'll do a better job than me. But the way in which that transition has come about has been diabolical and hurtful. I don't respect the reply." Not really Rance Priebus.
Yeah, but it would totally sound believable. Especially if you've had a couple G&Ts and it's 10 o'clock and you're on the White House lawn just hanging out. But again, that's not actually ousted Chief of Staff Rance Priebus writing an email to Anthony Scaramucci, but it's pretty believable, which is why, despite saying he doesn't expect a reply, fake Priebus got one. It was around this time that the mainstream media finally caught on to what Sign and Reborn had been up to, with CNN publishing a story about it on Monday evening, where they were in contact with Sign and Reborn and had access to portions of some of these emails that Sign and Reborn hadn't tweeted. But apparently Anthony Scaramucci's reply to fake Priebus was, "You know what you did. We all do. Even today. But rest assured, we were prepared. A man would apologize." Holy fuck.
To which fake Priebus replied, "I can't believe you are questioning my ethics. The so-called mooch who can't even manage his first week in the White House without leaving upset in his wake. I have nothing to apologize for." Scaramucci shot back, "Read Shakespeare, particularly Othello. You are right there. My family is fine, by the way, and will thrive. I know what you did. No more replies from me." Fake Priebus then sent back a pretty insulting reply, but Scaramucci didn't reply anymore, either because he realized he was talking to a complete stranger or because he realized that the new White House Chief of Staff's first order of business was firing him from the job that he'd had for just a week.
Sign and Reborn's other exploits around the same time also included tricking Anthony Scaramucci into believing he was Ambassador to Russia John Huntsman Jr., tricking Anthony Scaramucci into thinking he was his good friend Arthur Schwartz, and pretending to be Jared Kushner and getting Homeland Security Advisor Tom Bosser to provide his personal email address without even asking. The guy literally wrote, "If you ever need it, my personal email is," and then he put it there. Deciding he had had enough fun, though, Sign and Reborn then tweeted, "White House, FYI, I won't be pranking you any longer. Point made. I'm just a dude with an iPhone. You need to tighten up IT policy. Love, XX." Yeah, little kisses.
And again, Sign and Reborn wasn't doing this out of malice. He was just kind of doing it to see if it could work. And it did. He told CNN, "I try to keep it on the humorous side of things. I'm not trying to get the keys to the vault or anything like that." And that's not hyperbole. Remember the whole Podesta hack when Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, his whole email history got leaked and it was touted as yet another example of Hillary Clinton not giving a good gosh darn about
Good gosh darn
about cybersecurity? Well, Podesta got hacked in literally the same way. It was spear phishing. In his case, it was clicking on a bogus link that he thought was from Google, but again, it was someone who should have known better getting an email that seemed legit and not double checking the actual email address of the sender.
So you'll have to forgive us for finding the tiniest bit of irony in these adventures of Sign and Reborn. For the last 6 months of the 2016 election, Hillary Clinton and her team's cybersecurity blunders were center stage and rightfully got a lot of people, including ourselves, concerned about whether or not a group of people who repeatedly got hacked could be trusted with running the country. The Trump campaign itself latched onto the narrative wholeheartedly. So it's just kind of funny that here we are in August of 2017 and the Trump administration is falling for spear phishing scams across the board, and the only reason we even know about it is because the guy doing it is a British IT worker who likes messing with rich people over email.
Yeah. Just saying. I
really
just think it's kind of funny.
It really makes you drink.
Anyway, by this point, our comment section's probably filled with comments.
But what about Seth Rich? I missed when Weekly Weird News wasn't about the U.S. government.
Well, so do we, guys.
Yeah, it's a fucking circus right now.
Don't blame us for the fact that the U.S. government got really fucking weird over the last 7 months. But hey, fine. Here's something we can all agree on. Turtle dicks are fucking weird. Now, to be clear, dicks from across the animal kingdom are weird.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, despite evolution making it so that we share bone and vital organ structures with basically anything else with a spinal cord, dicks have gone their own way. And they are a whole spectrum of what the fuck.
You can go your own way. That song is about animal dicks, oddly enough. So there you go. There's ducks, whose dicks shoot out of their bodies in half a second and extend up to 20 centimeters long, and are corkscrew-shaped with barbs attached to scrub away any cum from other ducks that they find along their journey up into the female duck's corkscrew-shaped vagina. Same with pigs, which is honestly even more horrifying since they whip those things out on dry land and their tails are also corkscrews. It's just an extension. If you start measuring from the end of the pig's tail to the tip of his dick, that's the only accurate way to measure.
You gotta start at the tape.
Yeah. But then you get into reptiles, and shit gets even more bizarre. Snakes and lizards, they don't have a penis. They have two. Well, to be clear, they have a hemipenis, not like the guy on Reddit. It's a hemipenis. It's sort of like two side-by-side dicks that hide inside the body until needed, and then they both pop out, though only one of them is needed to get inside the female of the species to make whoopee.
Yeah, it's just like a little insurance policy.
Yeah, the guy on Reddit, he had threesomes and stuff like that.
I don't think that guy's real.
You don't think double dick's
I looked
real?
at an expose where they're comparing pictures and they're just like, this is Photoshop bullshit. Like, his dick has changed a ton over the past couple years. His dicks, sorry.
Well, I mean, haven't all of our dicks changed over the past couple years? Specifically during that special time in our life? Oh. Okay.
He also refuses to do, like, video evidence. They're just like, film a video of you just doing that. And he's like, nah, can't do it.
Well, that was a fun one to believe.
Yeah.
Thanks for rocking my
Sorry. But yeah, turtles, despite being reptiles, don't have a hemipenis. But their dicks are still absolutely horrifying.
I just keep thinking about the Dodge motor, the Hemi, they put in sports cars.
It's got a hemi.
I mean, you've got a penis, but I've got a Hemi-penis.
Hemi-penis. It's got 600 horses.
Yeah, my penis has VTEC, so watch out.
On the VTEC.
Yeah.
But yeah, turtle dicks, they're hard for scientists to learn about because in addition to spending most of the time inside the turtle's body, they just don't come out that often. Plus they got that shell. Now, there's of course plenty of YouTube videos out there of pet turtles and tortoises who, got a little bit horny in the midst of their 100-year lifespans, exposing their massive dicks that are half as long as their entire body and appear to have been designed by Guillermo del Toro. But scientists don't have time to wait around for turtles and tortoises to get randomly horny. They need
forever.
They need to see it now.
Yeah, which is why it's such big news that herpetologists now have a much easier time figuring out the sex of turtles they're studying, thanks to a not at all surprising tool, the vibrator. You'll ride it. When you get up here, you'll ride it.
Why don't you take a ride on the Turtle Civic?
Turns out that the battery-powered cylinders women have been using for decades to compensate for dudes who learn their technique in the locker room and on various message boards online, they work just as great on our turtle brethren. Now, in the past, scientists have had to look at traits like color, size, and claw length to figure out the sex of a turtle, and even then it was only an educated guess. That's the alligator's a fun one. You have to stick your finger up its hole.
I'm gonna stick my finger up its hole.
Ah, it's a mane, baby. It's a mixture of Australian and British. To get a better idea, they've had to anesthetize turtles and then probe their privates using endoscopes, which are basically hoses with a light and a camera attached, and for some turtles, they've had to be several feet long.
Ugh.
Poor little turtles and tortoise.
So the vibrator's changed everything.
Oh, it sure has.
According to a recent journal article in Acta Herpetologica, a reptile and amphibian-focused journal based out of the University of Florence, all it takes is a few careful, sensual strokes with a female sex toy to get that turtle dick out. Starting in 2014, scientists went to southeastern Oklahoma and captured 50 male turtles who happen to belong to species that are really easy to identify the sex of. Western chicken turtles, Mississippi mud turtles, common musk turtles, and spiny softshell turtles. Then, they robotically seduced them.
With names like that, how could they not be involved in a science experiment? Got a couple Mississippi mud turtles, if you know what I'm talking about. Now, according to the article, once a male turtle was captured, we attempted to induce an erection by applying an 18-centimeter variable speed silver bullet vibrator to its shell and tail. We vibrated turtles for 10 minutes or until an erection was achieved, and we recorded the amount of time that it took to induce an erection. You know what?
What a job.
We should defund this. I'm kidding. Well, what they found was that the vibrator worked best when the tip of it was placed firmly on the turtle's tail, and the vibrator was set to the fastest setting. These aren't, these turtles, they've been around the block
Turn it up.
sometimes. Yeah.
Turn it up.
They found that small, slow, steady circles achieved the best results.
Yeah, that's right.
Give it a little spank, too.
This was not foolproof, though. The spiny softshell turtles that they captured and forcibly jacked off, they whipped their dicks out every time. But for the Mississippi muds, it was 80%. The western chicken turtles, it was 65%.
Chickens.
And the common musk turtles, just 56%.
You know, the chicken turtles, the problem is they love sucking dick more than
Bark.
more than regular sex. They like oral.
But yeah, so the whole technique is not foolproof yet. But more research, more scientists going down to the lake to jack off turtles, it's going to likely figure out,
I'm conducting a science experiment, Mom.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to get this turtle hard.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna have to keep studying this and figure out the best ways for different species, and it's all for a great cause, conservation.
Yeah.
Plenty of turtle species not doing so great. So being able to get accurate data on how many males there are out there is a pretty important piece of info for keeping these shelled perverts alive.
Of course, seduction methods are going to vary. Scientists already know from previous studies that snapping turtles get their dicks out if you gently bounce them up and down. And Caatinga River toadhead turtles, they reveal themselves if you immobilize their necks and limbs.
Come on,
Yeah, that's
just
fucking-
choke me.
I mean, everyone's got their kinks,
Yeah.
right? So don't go around assuming every turtle will get off to a vibrator rubbing on their tail and shell. These scientists, they have their work cut out for them if they really want to definitively figure out how to arise every species of turtle on Earth. And, we wish them the best of luck. Mm-hmm. It's a tough job.
It's a thankless job.
Yeah.
Well, honey, I'll be home for dinner. Gotta go down to the river and rub a vibrator on a bunch of turtles so their
Why is your
dicks pop
sex
out.
drive down so much? You never want it anymore.
And yeah, guys, I get that just last week we were reporting on how you shouldn't trust scientific journals at face value because a guy managed to get an article about midichlorians published in a bunch of them. But context matters. In this case, the people publishing it, the University of Florence, have been around since the year 1321. It's certainly a more trustworthy source than the random people here in Southern California, who every year without fail claim that they've seen the fucking chupacabra prowling around their neighborhood looking for goats to suck.
It's probably just a coyote.
Yeah.
Now, for all the gabacho gringos watching who aren't aware of what a chupacabra is, don't worry, there's probably some equivalent of it in your own culture that's also complete bullshit. But when we said the chupacabra sucks goats, we were literally translating the name. Chupa, suck, cabra, goat. It's a mythological creature originally from Puerto Rico, but now basically all of Latin America and everywhere. People of Latin American descent have ended up. It's a creature that goes around sucking the blood of animals, and it's said to be vaguely reptilian and sort of kangaroo-like, and also kind of like a dog. Also kind of like whatever scary movie The Witness saw before reporting a chupacabra sighting. Oh, and unlike Bigfoot or the Yeti, the chupacabra legend dates back all the way to 1995. Only 90s kids.
Only 90s kids.
They need to reboot this animal.
So it's one of the most pathetically vague and undefined cryptozoological legends in North America. So maybe that's why every time someone with a passing knowledge of Latin culture sees an animal at night that they can't identify, it was probably, no, definitely, a chupacabra.
Ay Dios mío.
Now, that's the case this past week over in Riverside County, where the local Press Enterprise newspaper devoted an entire article to a 70-year-old man describing in detail his recent encounter with what was probably, no, definitely, a chupacabra. Carrie Shuker, who lives at the base of the Box Spring Mountains, told of seeing a mysterious creature one foggy morning that left him dumbstruck.
You know, all these sightings are usually at night or in terrible visual conditions. And you know what? I think it's safe to say that a man at 70 doesn't have the eyeballs of someone our age.
You would think.
He described it as the ugliest looking thing and said it was hairless with a rat-like tail, rippled pinkish skin, big sharp teeth jutting out of its jaws, and at least 2 feet or more longer than the biggest coyote you've ever seen. That's interesting. I mean, it sounds really big. How far away did you say that you were when you gauged its size? 80 or 90 feet away?
Oh, easy. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, it's easy to ignore this one guy's chupacabra sighting, but what about the rest of the people in the area who've seen it? It's most certainly not a possum.
No. It's an animal that scientists have never observed, and it's right here in my neighborhood.
Yeah, and you know what? We've never found the carcass of one, just hit by a car. But, we found the carcass of pretty much every other animal.
Anyway, another local resident said of his chupacabra sighting, "We're looking at it dead on. It has a body like a chihuahua, stretched out with a large thoracic cavity, and it has huge hind legs. It has a very narrow rat-like face with undulations in it, more like a marsupial."
It's a fucking possum. They're seeing possums. I call the big one Bitey.
Another woman in the area who spoke to the Press Enterprise described her own chupacabra sighting. The ears of a deer, long snout, no hair, tail like a rat, long hindquarters. I thought it might be a sick coyote, a sick wolf, but it had too many different characteristics from any of them.
But hold on, yeah, what was that animal? You said it definitely wasn't a coyote? Are you sure? Because that first guy, Carrie Shuker, said flat out this wasn't no coyote by any means. So I don't know, but maybe let's look into just that for a second before deciding that a cryptozoological creature that's never been observed by a scientist is roaming around in people's neighborhoods 60 miles east of the most populated county in the United States. Sure, We all know what a coyote looks like. He's always after that roadrunner.
Wants that get that roadrunner.
They're halfway between dogs and wolves, and like a lot of wild animals, they've adapted to living in places like Southern California, where there's enough wilderness to hide in and enough civilization to mooch off of, for food, and plenty of dogs to eat when
cats.
people just let them roam their backyards.
And if you live in coyote country, you've likely seen a coyote who isn't doing too great. The ones who make it all the way into somewhere like Hollywood, and they do, they look less like the majestic creatures of Yellowstone and more like a desperate, hungry animal who's completely out of its element and would just like to be shown where the nearest forest or restaurant trash can is. But then let's factor in something else. People who live in more of the suburban, rural side of Southern California, they get a lot of rats and mice, so they set up poison and traps for those rats and mice.
Who eats the rats and mice, though? Coyotes.
Ow!
And they get really, really sick from eating those doomed rodents. That leads to hair loss and skin irritation, leading to scratching, even more hair loss, and as well as just a general overall bad attitude. Coyotes are also really easily susceptible to the same mite that gives humans scabies, and also that causes extreme hair loss and skin irritation. So every goddamn time a story like this comes out, actual animal experts have to groan and tell the reporter, "No, you idiot, it was a coyote. Fuck. This was not what I wanted to get into when I got into this field." I still think it was a possum.
Yeah, might be.
Yeah, they're just big fucking rats with sharp teeth that are angry looking.
Every YouTube video of a chupacabra setting I've seen though, it's like, oh no, that's a sick coyote.
Yeah,
It's just
it's a coyote
sad.
with rabies and no hair.
Yeah, just like kill me. But yeah, telling them to fuck off is essentially what Riverside County Animal Services spokesman John Welsh told the Press Enterprise when asked about it. He said, "There is no such thing, except in the folklore of various communities. Residents living in this area are right in the backyard of coyotes, and the Sycamore Canyon Wilderness Park is not that far away either. There are bobcats, and in some rare circumstances, reports of a mountain lion in that area." A spokesman for the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, who was also probably annoyed to take this call, said simply, "Chupacabras are not a thing." But hey guys, maybe somehow a species of part lizard, part kangaroo predators who subsist on blood has been living under our nose this whole time, only revealing itself to elderly homeowners. I guess believe what you want to believe.
I think it's a possum. Anyways, let's get into headlines, guys.
Woo!
These are the best weird headlines from around the globe this week, and they're real.
Yeah.
This is real news that people are reporting on.
A lot of people have been asking for a Rodrigo Duterte update, so here you go. Kim Jong-un is a son of a bitch with a chubby face. Rodrigo Duterte unleashes.
Hey, I mean, good for him, I guess.
Yeah, the guy, I mean, he's fucking nuts, but
He says what he means. He's shaking things up.
Yeah. He said this like right before a meeting of Asian countries that includes North Korea too.
They just had to like reroute planes around that area that would fly even close because they're just like, I mean, they're launching missiles like every week. We can't.
Yeah.
So a lot of flight routes have been mangled.
Duterte is just like this fat fuck over there in North Korea. He's just playing with his toys. He's gonna get us all killed. Someone should do something about this. These fucking assholes.
Yeah.
He's the man. He says what he means.
Yes.
He's gonna make. The
Sure, are
Philippines
his
great again.
tactics a little unorthodox?
He throws people he doesn't like out of helicopters.
Yeah.
Sure.
But he also called Kim Jong-un a fat fuck.
Yeah. The enemy of my enemy.
Is my friend? Anyways, Indians have high threshold for tolerating stench. Israeli stink bomb fails Kashmir tests. Just Elliot, you can just be the lightning rod here.
So Israel developed a crowd dispersal weapon for dispersing, riots and shit. It smells apparently terrible and gets people to leave. Seems like it would work pretty well. The Indian government bought a bunch of it to use against protesters, but like they tested it and they're just like, everyone was just like, kind of just smells like India. So, yeah. Take from that what you will.
A quick dip in the Ganges will fix that.
Yeah. Let me just wash myself with the ashes of my ancestors and my neighbor's shit. Prove me wrong.
We found that lots of Indian people watch this show, Elliot.
And they agree with me.
All right.
The Ganges is filthy.
And you know what? By that logic, the Australians love my accent.
Oi!
News site makes readers answer questions to prove they understand story before posting comments. That's fucking great.
I love it. Yeah, it's like 3 multiple choice questions. It's not too difficult.
Yeah.
But like it's just like you can't comment unless you pass a basic reading comprehension test.
That's like that one app that they made a while ago, or at least I heard about it. I didn't download it, but you had to solve math problems to be able to like unlock your phone so you didn't like drunk text or something.
I wish I had that app.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
But you're just too good at math.
Oh God.
Just a genius.
I'm even better at math when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
It just opens up
Confidence.
the math parts of my brain.
You know, math is all about confidence, really.
Yeah.
Nah, that's the answer.
Nah.
Math is pretty finite science. So you just like
Pretty sure the cosine is the same as the sine.
yeah,
They're both blue.
yeah. You just take the decimal, move it around a little bit.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Ipso
One of these
facto.
gotta be right.
Airline pilots suspended for letting child fly plane. Isn't it cute though? They basically fly themselves.
They were fine. It's only when the pictures went up on the internet, everyone's like, "Oh no, they let a child fly a plane. He was pressing all the buttons. We need to suspend these pilots."
Well, yeah.
They would have never known.
That doesn't make it any better.
No, it doesn't.
They had that one. It's like on a show like Air Disasters, where like there was a plane that was like flying. I think it was in Russia or something. And
Yes.
like the kids just like leaned into the fucking what is it? A steering wheel?
I don't know.
Joystick?
Yeah, they crashed and it killed like hundreds of people.
Yeah, just
'Cause
started
the pilot's
spiraling
like,
down.
"Hey son, wouldn't it be cool if you sat here?" And the kid just like, yeah, the kid like leaned on something and the dad like. The plane nosedived and the guy couldn't figure out what the kid had pressed.
Well,
and
apparently, like
dead.
with that case, it was very strange because they tried to like manually bring it back to be able to fly, but if they had just let the computer correct itself, it would have been fine. But they kept. It's on Air Disasters. You'll watch it.
Air disaster.
Don't let kids fly planes, even if it seems real cute at the time.
Yeah. The kid, he really wants to be a pilot.
Well, you know, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Go through the proper channels.
play
If there can be a kid doctor, there can be a kid pilot. I just want him to do a good job.
Yeah. I mean, if he wants to be a pilot, he should play that flight sim game with, who's that flight sim guy who takes it really seriously?
Yeah. Play with
Anyway,
him.
Yeah, play with him. Tennessee bride arrested for pulling gun out of wedding dress, pointing it at new husband.
There's a
Honeymoon's
lot
over.
of questions about this. So she had a gun on her the entire time.
Even like her garter. She's probably just like, yeah, it's gonna be cool. I got a white gun at the wedding gun store
And
here in Tennessee.
what did he do to?
I don't know. They're fucking hicks and they probably got drunk and they were yelling at each other.
So let's see.
Prove me wrong.
India, blind people, the South.
Yeah. She pulled a gun out of her wedding dress and pointed it at her husband. She actually, in the article, they say she pulled the trigger, and the only reason he didn't die is because she was too drunk to remember to load the fucking thing.
Oh, good.
Yeah. On your wedding day.
Well, I'm sure that their marriage is going to be great, built on a nice foundation of trust.
It's a nice day for a white wedding.
Minnesota man stabbed 7 times over Magic the Gathering card game argument. People take that shit serious.
They really do.
People have been stabbed for less.
He really fucked this guy up. It's a good thing that he was a scrawny, weak nerd, though. Otherwise, he could have probably done some damage.
Did he make a tourniquet out of his silk dress shirt that had flames printed on it?
Article didn't say.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. This is why I don't play Magic the Gathering, though. I don't want to get fucking stabbed.
Yeah, it's true. There's the risk of that happening at any game at any time during Magic the Gathering.
Play games on the internet where people can't find me.
Yeah. Anyways.
Woman fell from balcony during threesome after argument over position.
Yeah. Thrown from.
Gotta be careful, yeah.
I don't know.
She fell out. She was getting in a fight with the other one. Like, no, I want to be in. I want to be in. And one of them, she was leaning on the balcony. And she
The guy's
fell
just
out.
sitting there having the best time of his life.
Yeah, she fell down, and then her friend that she was arguing with was like, ah! And then she ran down to try to help her, and there's just 2 naked chicks on the road somewhere in Germany. And the
How
guy's
far
up
was
there
the fall?
like 1 story.
Oh, that's not so bad.
I mean, if you fall backwards, you can really
Oh, you can hurt yourself.
yourself.
But it's not as bad as like a skyscraper or like
Well,
even a big
yes,
apartment complex.
That is correct. It's not as bad as a skyscraper. True. What are you whining about? It's not like you fell from a skyscraper.
We've all jumped off a 1-story roof or
Not like
balcony.
You were naked and falling into brush and getting scratched and
Yeah.
And bad
You don't
things.
know that. It was a road.
That's even worse.
Nah.
Asphalt, man.
I think it was probably the guy's fetish.
Yeah.
He organized. He put some.
Did she come back up?
He put some WD-40 on the railing of his balcony.
Whoop.
He's like, "Oh, it'd be great if we did it on the balcony." And she falls down. He's like, "Oh,
That's his fetish.
That's my fetish."
That's his vibrator to the tail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 in 8 young people in the UK have never seen a real cow.
Which is weird because there's so much land in the UK that
Yeah.
is perfect for cows to just roam on.
I think it's just a lot of kids in like big cities like London just
Yeah, I guess
never
that
leave.
makes sense. Yeah,
'Cause the
because
population of London is like half of Britain or something like that. Something crazy.
we can fact check that.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of people that are just in London and
Yeah, that makes.
have
a lot of
never
sense.
seen a cow. I'm gonna go rent a cow and trot it through the streets of London, being like, "You fucking seen this shit?
Guys,
They're real."
We could single-handedly save this country in its lack of seeing cows.
Hey, check it out. You want some milk?
Yeah, it's a great cow.
Oh, it's a boy. Shit.
Now you can still get milk from it.
Yeah.
Just gotta work harder.
Gotta milk it.
Yeah. Half of Detroit's 8 mayoral candidates are felons, which is just sad.
I mean, it sounds worse than it is. Like, did you see the mayoral ballot for LA this past
It
time?
was real goofy.
Yeah, it was like people with like who had legally changed their name to like Smoochie Maguchi and shit like that. Like a lot of people run for mayor.
Mayor McMarison.
Yeah, people run for mayor in big cities who have no intention of like actually running a city. They just want to see their name on it. They pay $100.
Mayor McMayorface.
So I'm
Yeah.
sure the other 4 mayoral candidates, I hope, are decent people.
Yeah,
They're not felons. We know that much. So that's cool.
it's a little head start.
79-year-old woman caught going 149 miles per hour in Porsche Boxster said she needed to clear her head.
Well, if she would have crashed it, that would have definitely happened.
It's true.
There is something to be said about not only, I guess, the slight adrenaline rush that you would get from that, but also if you are doing it safely, the focus that you
Yeah.
have. It does not really allow for any kind of clutter.
Yeah.
So was it dangerous? Sure.
She said she couldn't fall asleep, so she's like, I'm gonna go drive really fast. It's the middle of the night in Belgium.
Yeah.
She's going 140. She's like, I need to tire myself out by driving extremely fast in my Porsche.
Yeah. I mean, she's not wrong.
In the court of Ricky for the win, what do you sentence this woman to?
A good night's sleep. So she doesn't do it again. All she wanted was sleep. Get her some meds or something. Take a couple Benadryl.
I don't know. Benadryl's probably like every other fucking drug in Europe where you have to get a prescription for it. It's ridiculous.
Except for painkillers.
You
They
want-
love handing those out.
Can't even get fucking Tylenol over there without
you
seeing a
can.
doctor.
No, you can. It's just called something different.
Well, whatever. Jailbreak. Inmates use peanut butter to fool guard. Put it on his tongue and he was like, "Blah, blah, 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 blah." The guard was a dog. No.
Yeah, yeah.
They,
It was one of those fun cities.
It's even dumber than that. They use peanut butter to write like a number above an exit door.
Yeah.
And
So
the
they
guy,
thought it was like a
the
cell
guy
block or
was
something?
the guy was a new guard, and he's like, "Hey, guard, I can't get into my room. Can you open the door?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And he opened the door, and then 12 inmates just ran away and jumped over the fence.
Oh, man, I'm such a goof.
Oh, jeez, that's
Hey,
peanut butter up there.
I gotta go tell the warden that I goofed again. Yeah.
It's Alabama too, so it's like half the people that escaped. It's like, oh, these felons, and I'm like, what was the felony? It's like they had
minor drug
They had
possession?
marijuana.
Yeah, minor
and
drug possession.
paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Like, kind of hard to feel sorry for this jail.
Yeah. This Ohio factory owner says she has jobs, but few sober applicants. Like I've said, Ohio is the Florida of the North.
I mean, there is a big problem with people failing weed tests, but Ohio has a lot of OxyContin. They got a lot of fentanyl.
It's the Florida of the North.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking state, but switched.
Something about the state of Ohio makes people take extremely dangerous painkillers.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
But, there's jobs if you guys
Yeah,
wanna,
if you want to kick the habit.
or if you want to move to a state that is never not entertaining and fairly decently priced to live in if you don't live in Cleveland, I guess, directly in the downtown area.
Yeah, I like Ohio.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I've got no problem with it.
They got Kroger there. We have Ralph's. It's like a whole different country.
I don't know what to do with myself. Jesus.
And finally, Sean Spicer could be joining Dancing with the Stars, report says.
And why shouldn't he?
However,
I saw Scaramucci was in the running as well.
yeah, Spicer, he's already saying, nah, I don't think so. I'm so busy with so much stuff. It's like, are you though, Sean? What are you busy with?
Probably writing a book.
I think what he's doing, he's trying to drive up the price.
Yeah.
He's negging Dancing with the Stars
Get that,
into
yeah.
giving him more money. Smart.
Also,
It's the art of the deal, baby.
also, Probably gonna be hard to match him with a dancer who doesn't tower over him.
Yeah, he's a very small man.
He is a tiny, tiny
Gotta
man.
give him those Frankenstein boots.
Yeah, like it's gonna be hard for him to. He'll never be able to do the one where you have to hold the hand up to do the spin.
No.
Can't reach.
Nope.
Can't reach it.
He'll, like, get on a chair.
They should match him with like Serena Williams or something.
That would be hilarious.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Love
We
it.
should do
Or
that.
him and Melissa McCarthy.
Oh! Yes.
You heard it here first.
That would be great.
They should just hang out.
It would be great for ratings.
They should just hang out.
They should.
I like it.
Melissa and Melissa.
I'm gonna ship them. I'm
See,
shipping them.
They're both happily married. Anyway, that's it for Weekly Weird News. Check out a new episode of Tugs over here.
Yeah.
And we played Settlers of Catan again with Joel Rubin.
Elliot officially hates the fucking game.
I got just fucking hosed from the beginning.
I did too,
Spoiler
and
alert.
I won last time. So yeah, but it was fun with Joel there because he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He certainly did.
All right. See you guys next time.
Bye.